We're going to talk about a show that they're going to be performing at the Michael J. Hansen Performing Arts Auditorium, Faribault Senior High School. Beautiful facility. Boy, we're so blessed to have that here. And we're going to talk with some cast members of a play that's coming up. They're going to give us all the details about the play, which is called The Seussification of Romeo and Juliet. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a Dr. Seuss version of Romeo and Juliet. It was written by a guy in Mankato. Cast members had a great visit with that person, the playwright, last night during the rehearsals. How cool is that? You don't get that every day of the week. Today's show will be fun too. Let's see if I can get these pronunciations right. I have Lauren Jacobson here. She plays Juliet in the play. I have sophomore Emma Paquette. Lauren, by the way, is a freshman. She's the baby of the group. The junior is Wyatt Thompson. Wyatt is the
Mercutio.
Senior Andrew Pio. Did I get that right, Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay, I need you close to that mic. I'll thumb the pinky at the there you go. So Andrew, you are Romeo, right?
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yep.
So you're a senior, right, Andrew?
Yeah.
How many plays have you been in?
Ever since freshman year, I've participated in, well, just about every single performance that I could. So I'd say this is probably my 10th performance.
Wow, cool. What's your favorite role all time? And forget that anybody's ever listening anywhere.
Favorite role in a show that I've performed in?
Right.
That's a tough one. I'd probably have to say there was this businessman that I played in Rosie the Riveter. That was a really fun role to play. That was my sophomore year, fall play.
Oh, cool. How about you, Wyatt? How many plays have you been in?
I've been in 4. I've participated in all 3 of my fall plays I've been able to participate in. And I did a musical last year for the first time, which I enjoyed a lot. So that's something I'm going to do again this year. I'm going to try out for the musical and try that out too.
All right. Are you in choir?
I am not in choir. That is one of the reasons why I didn't join, is because I didn't think I could really sing that well. And I still really don't think I can. But I want to participate in theater, so I'm going to do it anyhow.
But you had some singing roles in the musical?
Yeah, I was part of a background group, and I helped fill in some of the sounds that helped make the lead singer stand out.
Cool. Freshman Lauren Jacobson is Juliet. How many plays have you been in?
A lot.
A lot of plays.
A lot of plays.
We're talking community theater as well as high school, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like school plays and summer plays and different stuff like that.
You have a favorite role all time that you've performed?
Yeah, I do. I played Ursula a couple years ago in a middle school play. The Little Mermaid. Played Ursula, and it was so much fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I've only got 10 seconds, so it's probably not fair to ask Emma, but how many plays you been in?
A lot. I've been in the plays since 6th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every year since 6th grade
Yep.
you've been in a play?
Yep.
You are one busy lady.
Yep.
We're going to talk more. We'll give her favorite role in a moment. Get on AM Minnesota today. I want to thank Paul Johnson. He's the artistic director over at Faribault Senior High School for sending some cast members of the play that's being performed soon. We'll get the details from them in a moment. The Seussification of Romeo and Juliet. It was written by a man from Bethany Lutheran College in Mankato who visited with the students last night. But before I get to that, we need to find out what Emma's all-time favorite role has been. Emma plays a servant in this play, right? Mm-hmm. Sophomore Emma Paquette?
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes, you
Okay.
did.
All right. So Emma, tell me your all-time favorite role.
When I was in 8th grade, we did the musical The Little Mermaid Junior, and I was honored to be Ariel in the play, so that was probably my favorite role. It was
okay.
really interesting.
It's interesting all the roles you guys chose as your favorites. So who wants to tell me when this play is and how people can get tickets?
Okay, so this play is this Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and on Sunday at 2 p.m. And you can get tickets at the door if you want. Just come in and, yeah.
At the Michael J. Hansen
Yes,
Performing
yes.
Arts. That stage is I mean, that whole theater is so
Mhm.
awesome. You guys are very blessed to have that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
When I was in theater, we were on a stage of a gym, you know, in a small high school there in Spring Valley, Minnesota. So it wasn't really much of a stage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had that beautiful facility there. And I would guess the set, Lauren, is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's really colorful and bold, and it's good.
Pardon?
It's good. It's colorful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there like a castle there or something, or what?
Yeah, there's a balcony, and we have different entrances and exits and different doors we go through.
Well, when you think of Romeo and Juliet, there has to be a balcony, doesn't there?
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be Romeo and Juliet, Romeo, if you couldn't, you know, talk to Juliet up the balcony.
Of course, yeah, because, well, there's always that scene where Romeo's in the courtyard and he's saying, "Oh, Juliet, wherefore art thou?" and whatnot. I'm not very good at quoting Shakespeare, but yeah.
You'll be good this weekend, though.
I can say that with confidence, yeah.
Good. That sounds good. So, this is Dr. Seuss meets Shakespeare, basically, right, Wyatt?
Yes, it is. It's basically the rewriting of the entire Shakespeare script, but with more rhyming and colorful vocabulary, not in the bad way. And it really like livens up the play and makes it less dramatic and more comedic. And there's a lot of laughing that we hope will happen in the theater. And this is a play that we're really happy to produce.
Yeah. I mean, the real Romeo and Juliet. Well, I'll ask you, what's your opinion of Romeo and Juliet?
Well, I read it for the first time last year, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was definitely something I'd never pick up on by myself. So it's definitely a tragedy, but this play is not a tragedy. It's more of a comedy. So
Yeah.
and I thought that was, and I was glad that we learned about it last year because now I get more of the jokes in this play. So it's really nice to
Okay.
know.
So you should know your Shakespeare if you're going to this play?
Maybe some jokes are probably from Romeo and Juliet, maybe, but yeah.
You're not required to read Shakespeare in school?
Yes, we read Romeo and Juliet in 9th grade.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. I was going to say, man, when I was in school, you had to read a lot of that Shakespeare stuff. You like Shakespeare?
Yeah. Just what I've read in school.
Of Romeo, did you read Romeo and Juliet?
I didn't, but last year I read the Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah, Midsummer Night Dream.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you read Romeo and Juliet, Wyatt?
Yes, for my sophomore year, I did read Romeo and Juliet as part of the class. It was interesting. I couldn't really say it was my favorite of the Shakespeare plays. It's more of a romantic tragedy, and those aren't really my things. Out of the Shakespeare ones I've only read Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth, and I found Macbeth to be interesting because there's a lot of more subtle details in the play to figure out. There's a lot of interesting characters in that one, and Romeo and Juliet is just so common. I don't see it as that great of a play right now, but now that we've Seussified it, I feel like the play has a whole new light, and it's going to be so much more interesting to the viewers than just the normal play itself.
Interesting. What's your take on all this, Andrew? You're Romeo. You're the man.
Well, I mean, yeah, as part of the curriculum for Minnesota and whatnot, we were assigned in our literature classes to read Romeo and Juliet, Midsummer Night's Dream. And so, when I was reading it, I was just like, wow, it's all Greek to me. And so I was just so confused because the language seems so foreign to me. I mean, it's in an older style of modern English, but it just didn't quite click with me. So then when I read translations of Romeo and Juliet, or modern day slang, so to speak, and when I read the script for Seussification, I was like, oh, okay, this is way more easily digestible. And so what I think about Romeo and Juliet as a whole, as a script written by Shakespeare, I think that it's really interesting how different casts can put like different spins on it, because then we see the modern day like movie by like I don't know who the director is, but it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, and so I just see that, I was like, wow, they just put this whole modern twist on it. And so the open-endedness of the script just leaves room to so much like interpretation.
That's true. That's very true. So how do you like playing Romeo?
It's definitely an experience. There's a decent amount of weight put on my shoulders, but I think I can handle it, because I mean, in the past I haven't gotten as big lead roles, and so I was really excited for this, and well, I still am for the performance nights, of course.
A lot of lines, though.
For sure, yeah. I counted them all up, and just like I stacked them against like how many lines like the other major characters had, and like even then I was still astounded. I was like, wow, guess I'm gonna have to be reading for the next few days.
But that won't be a problem.
Of course not.
Of course not. It won't be a problem. How about Juliet? She has a few lines too.
Oh yeah, she does.
You like playing Juliet?
I do. She's a pretty connectable character. She's
Hopeless romantic.
yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Isn't that how you would describe her? Would you describe yourself as that?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you can relate to her. Is what
yeah,
I'm
I
getting
can.
at. Emma, how about you? Your character. Tell us about your character. You play a servant.
Yes, this is like the first time I've ever played a part like this, and it's definitely an interesting character. She's well, she's just kind of judgmental in a way. Like, I'm always in the background judging people, and it's just so much fun. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed playing her character.
How about you, Wyatt? Tell us about your character.
So I play as Mercutio, who is a relative of Romeo's in some distant fashion. And I roll around with these guys for the most part of the play, and it's a quirky role. It really is. As the three of us, Romeo, Benvolio, and myself, we get along really well on stage, and we like to show our personalities more and bring our personalities into the characters to make them live and real, and not just characters that we put on. So we have a lot of chemistry on stage, and we have a lot of fun doing our roles, and I enjoy it.
So your take on Romeo is?
Um,
I mean, what kind of a guy is Romeo?
Definitely, well, in this version of like Romeo and Juliet, I'd say he's kind of a dunce. Sort of like that kid who's like, at the beginning, he's really meek. He's like, oh, my heart is broken, it's shattered, there won't be another chance for me to find a girl like her again. And then, of course, during the, like, towards, like, more the middle of the play, I'm like, ai hachi mama, wow, there's this girl that I met, her name's Juliet, and she's hot. And so he just becomes this valiant guy who's just, like, all trying to white knight it out for Juliet, and I think it's pretty hilarious, to be honest.
Again, Seussification of Romeo and Juliet. Tell us about the visit you had with the playwright last night, if you would. I don't know, Andrew, do you have any thoughts you want to share with us about that? Let's see, the playwright is?
Peter Blodel. Yeah, like the other night, he just, I believe he dropped in at around 5:30. Call time was about 6 o'clock. And so I just came in and I saw this, like, fairly tall dude, and so I thought he was going to be the photographer for the evening, because we had our cast photos that day. But no, it turned out to be Peter Blodel, and he's turned out to be a pretty cool guy, actually, like, really down to earth, and like he lended a lot of his, like, experience, so to speak. He told us, like, all these stories about, well, just about everything. He told us about his dog, his kids named Hans and Greta. It can be mistaken for Hansel and Gretel. And so just overall his stage experience and whatnot, and he was pretty down to earth, pretty chill guy.
And he's from Bethany Lutheran College in Mankato.
Yeah, and yeah, like, I believe he moved down to Mankato, and so kind of stayed there for, well, quite a while. and so he's just been churning out all these Seussifications, like Seussification of A Midsummer Night's Dream. What else?
I don't know.
Christmas Carol.
Seussification of A Christmas Carol, and it's like, it's just interesting to see what he does, really.
It sounds interesting. Had you known about this before you started rehearsing the play, Wyatt?
As in, what did I know?
Had you ever heard of a Seussification
Oh,
of
no,
Romeo?
I had not. It was a real shock to be in the theater and see it because it was really an odd idea. I didn't really know if it was going to work, and it has. It's a really cool idea. I'm glad he created it too, because we watched another group of people perform it at another school via YouTube, and their interpretation of it was also pretty fun to watch.
Yeah,
So I hope it is that good.
People are going to laugh.
Yes.
That's the idea behind this, right?
Hmm.
Whereas normally, you wouldn't laugh at Romeo and Juliet. Well, you might, but
yeah,
I'm
on
just saying.
occasion. But this one's filled with a lot of jokes, a lot of subtle jokes too, that the audience has to pick up themselves and find if it's hilarious to them or not too.
Uh-oh. You know what that means.
Right.
You're going to get laughter in places where you didn't anticipate laughter.
Right. There's a lot of open comedy in it too, but then there's a lot of just weird sayings too that we expect people to at least chuckle at.
Any slapstick?
Yeah, she runs into a wall.
Who does?
Juliet.
Juliet.
I do.
You run into a wall?
Yeah, Juliet's a clumsy character, and
Oh.
she does run into a wall
Are
once
you
or
blinded
twice.
by love or something? Is that why you run into the wall?
Nah, she's just clumsy.
She is.
Yeah.
That's his interpretation.
Yeah.
Mr. Blogels.
Yeah.
This sounds very interesting. The Seussification of Romeo and Juliet. So, I think I asked you this earlier, but Emma, do I have to have seen Romeo and Juliet to enjoy this play?
No, you don't have to. I think you should know like what Romeo and Juliet is about, but you don't really have to read it to understand it because it is definitely hilarious on its own. Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Juliet?
Yeah, it's the Seussification of Romeo and Juliet. It's just Romeo and Juliet Seussified. I think you should know what Romeo and Juliet is and like the tragedy.
So, Wyatt, is there any reference to green eggs and ham in here?
Yes, there is. There is a rhyming portion that sounds very familiar to it. I don't know the entire part of it because it's not my line, but it is pretty funny to listen to. It happens a little bit later in the play, so don't expect it at the beginning, but
okay.
it is fun to listen to.
And will I see the cat in the hat, Andrew?
Have I seen the what?
The cat in the hat.
I've, like, years ago I've seen it, yeah.
I mean, will the cat appear in this play?
Oh, no. No, they don't.
Okay. I'm just curious. You know, Dr.
Yeah.
Seussification of Romeo and Juliet. So I know Wyatt says he thinks this works. You don't have to agree with Wyatt. Emma, do you think this play
Oh
works?
yeah, definitely. It's definitely an original combination, and I never would have suspected it. But once we learned that we were doing this fall play, I was very excited for it, and it's definitely really funny and really cool.
And Peter stayed and watched you guys rehearse, right? An
Yeah.
act or something?
Yeah, for the first act, and he was very proud of us, and he said he wouldn't have noticed. If he didn't know this was a high school, he wouldn't have noticed it was a high school.
Wow, that's very good compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Very cool.
Yeah, you don't get that every day of the week.
Nope.
That was a very nice compliment.
Yes, it
so
was.
did he laugh at some of the,
Oh yeah, he did chuckle a few times.
you know, and he wrote the play.
Yeah.
So he knows what lines are coming. So if you can make him laugh, you can probably make just about anybody laugh.
Pretty much.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Anybody with a sense of humor, anyway.
Mhm.
Right? So get on over to the Michael J. Hansen Performing Arts Auditorium and take this in. When are those show times? And you can only buy tickets at the door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yep,
so.
at the door.
Yeah. Yes.
So
They're
sure.
this Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all
Mhm.
7:30 starts.
Yep.
And the curtain goes up at 2
on Sunday.
on Sunday.
Yes.
Fantastic. You guys nervous?
Yes, but a good kind of nervous.
You going to perform this for the grade schools?
No.
Middle school?
No.
Just general audience.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Well, I thought maybe, be a good trial run. Last
Yeah.
dress rehearsal,
Mhm.
No dice.
No.
No.
You've done this with other plays, though, haven't you?
No, only there's the children's theater, which we perform for the elementary schools,
Mhm.
but the middle school kind of gets left out on that because they have their own theater program. They have the option to come and see us if they'd like to see how we do, but only on the show days.
You guys enjoy the kids, the elementary kids, when you do the performances for them?
Oh yeah, I did children's theater for the first time ever last year, and I really loved it because I remembered going there when I was in elementary school and saying that I was going to be on stage one of those days, and I was, and it was definitely a different experience, and I loved it, and I'm definitely doing it again.
No, you're not all that far removed from that
Yeah.
age.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you kind of feel like you are, but
Yeah.
you're not, right?
exactly.
It hasn't been that many years ago. Well, you're the baby of the bunch.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that many years ago that you were in elementary school.
True.
So you
Yeah.
can remember that.
Yeah.
Now me, remembering elementary school, no, I can remember. So make sure you take it in, folks. We want you to patronize Faribault High School's play, Performing Arts Center. Now, you got another play coming up this spring, right, Andrew?
Yeah, it is.
It is Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh my, that's
Yeah.
not easy to do.
No, I wouldn't think so. It is a musical too, so it's not just a play. It'll be a
Right.
musical.
And you're trying out for that, you said.
Yes, I will be trying out for that.
You have a specific role in mind?
No, usually when I audition for plays, it's more to participate and be with the people that I'm around. So
You never have a role in mind.
no, if any role I get, I'm happy with. If it's a lead role or if it's just a background part, I enjoy it because there's just a lot of fun in our theater program that I enjoy being in on.
Well, it takes everybody to make a play.
Yes, it does.
Mhm.
Even if you don't have a big part, you have to pull off your part or the play doesn't work. Right, Emma?
Yep. I mean, if it wasn't for my character in this play, Romeo and Juliet never would have met.
Well, there you go.
Mhm.
See? Case in point. Are you going to try out for the musical, Andrew?
Yeah, I think so. I'm in the same boat as Wyatt in that, like, I never really look for a specific role. I just really enjoy the theater community that's, like, and like the good mood that's really fostered in the black box during rehearsals, and it's just a blast participating.
Were you shocked when you found out that you were Romeo?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I just came to the call board right after the homecoming parade, and I was like, oh, I'm Romeo. Cool.
How about you, Juliet?
I will admit that after I found out what part I got, I went down to my dad's classroom in the high school, and I did run through the hallways. It was great.
You wanted to be Juliet.
I didn't know what I wanted. I just wanted to be in the play,
Oh,
like
sure.
Andrew and Wyatt said.
Okay.
Yeah.
But getting the Juliet was
It's
kind of like
exciting.
it was kind of like the strawberry on top of the whipped topping on the strawberry shortcake,
Sundae?
right?
Yeah.
I'm getting this look like, what are you talking about? Anyway, we only got a couple minutes left in the show. Once again, could you give out that information, how people could, they have to only get tickets at the door. You can't buy them in advance, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the door, Michael J. Hansen Performing Arts Auditorium. Not a bad seat in the house either, I might
Oh
add.
no.
And you guys are going to speak nice and loud. You have a good sound system.
Oh yeah.
So if I'm sitting
Definitely.
way in the back, I'm going to hear you, right?
Definitely.
It's one of my pet peeves when I go to a play if I can't hear something. And I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have good hearing to begin with. So you have
Yeah.
to speak extra loud.
The plays are this Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and on Sunday at 2
And
p.m.
those ticket prices again are?
$4 for students, $7 adults, and $5 with a college ID.
Seniors, they have a special price or not?
No, it's just $4 for a student.
Okay, all right. Sounds great. The shirts that these, well, 3 of the 4 are wearing Theater Commandment shirts that are in purple and white. I've got 1 minute left in the show, and I'm going to ask Juliet to please read Emma's theater commandments, because I think this is very interesting. If you've ever been in theater, you'll relate to this.
Yeah, of course. So the theater commandments: 1, thou shalt be on time. 2, thou shalt bring pencil and script. 3, thou shalt leave the personal baggage at the door. 4, thou shalt know a 2x4 from a 1x4. 5, thou shalt make an offering of egg bake every Saturday. And 10, thou shalt not touch others' props.
There. Now, if you've ever been in theater, you can relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
The egg bake part we didn't have in my theater troupe, but
Every Saturday we have a breakfast in
it's
the
a
morning.
great idea
great.
that I wish they would have had when I was in theater. Well, you guys break a leg, okay, this weekend?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Think you're ready to go, Romeo?
Of course, anytime.
I agree. Anytime.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, I'm super excited.
All right, fantastic. So get on over, folks. Faribault Senior High School this Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at 7:30. A Sunday afternoon matinee at 2. The Seussification of Romeo and Juliet. Sounds like a lot of fun.